Hello everyone, this is Elisha from NewShield, and I'm going to be here talking about the RegnaLocker ransomware. And this is a ransomware that came out a while ago. We've had this video available for a while, but just here to talk quickly about it. And what this video will show is how the RegnaLocker can use a VM guest to encrypt data on the VM host. So it's able to bypass the security of the VM and affect the host files. Now, of course, AV on the host cannot detect this since the virus is actually running inside the virtual machine, and there's no AV on the virtual machine. There's no way for the AV to detect this. However, we'll show you that NewShield, since the time this ransomware first came out, NewShield has been able to recover this one. So let's go ahead and get the video rolling here. So the first thing you see is we're showing you here the host machine, and you can see the OneDrive, the pictures we have there, the documents we have on OneDrive, our documents on our PC, as well as we also have Google Drive set up. So we have a couple different cloud drives set up on this system, syncing back to the cloud drive. Now we're going to run the RegnaLocker ransomware. So normally this would probably run automatically. Just for this demo, we're running it manually. So you can see that inside the virtual machine there. We're using Oracle VM VirtualBox to do this. And once that runs, it takes a few minutes to do its work, but you'll see that it will go ahead and encrypt pretty much all of the documents and pictures on this VMware system. So we're just waiting here a minute for the ransomware to go ahead and encrypt those files. The first thing you'll probably see is the desktop changing, and then after that you'll see the folders all having the RegnaLocker extension, which is the extension that's used by this particular ransomware. So there you go. You see the desktop changed to a black color, and you can see the documents on this PC changed to have the RegnaLocker extensions. We'll go ahead and open this up in Microsoft Word, or actually in this case, we'll open it up in WordPad. And you'll see that the data has all been encrypted, even though the ransomware is not actually running on the host system. So there's the encrypted data, you can see that. Now also what it does is it adds a ransom note to each one of these folders, so we'll show you that in a second as well. But you can see that the OneDrive as well as the Google Drive files have all been affected. It's not just the files on this local system. Of course, those files are locally on the system too, but it searches the whole drive and it'll encrypt those as well. So here's the ransomware note. So you can see that this is the RegnaLocker ransomware note asking for you to pay to get your files back. And there's the secret key they need to allow you to decrypt it. Of course, you need to send that key with money in order for them to give you the decryption key. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shut down this VMware system so we can do the recovery. Now, since this system is running NewShield, of course, those files actually never got affected, even though it looks like it. You can see more details about how NewShield works on our website. But go ahead and we'll revert the OneDrive setting. So you'll see here the OneDrive files will revert right there. So it only takes a few seconds to be able to revert the files. It doesn't really matter how many files or how big the files are. We can revert them all in seconds because we're not actually copying data like a backup would do. The initial files are still there. All we have to do is re-expose them to the operating system so that you can use them again. So there's no copying of data, we're just re-exposing the existing files. So you can see that. The OneDrive files have been restored and we're opening those up so you can see those files there. All right, and we can do the same thing for the other files. So we'll go ahead and revert the desktop files. So you can see there's a ransomware note on the desktop. That'll go ahead and get rid of that. And anything else that was damaged by the ransomware on the desktop, we've recovered that. And we'll go ahead and do some of these other folders as well. We'll start out here with the Documents folder. So we'll recover that as well. Basically, we can recover all the folders that we have protected, and by default we have all these folders protected. You can see we're doing the documents folder, so there's all the documents back, and we can open those up if we want to, but you can see they're recovered. And we'll do the same thing with the Google Drive folders. So we just click on the Google Drive and go to NewShield to revert those changes as well. All right, you can see the changes that are going to be made when we revert. It's going from the encrypted files to the unencrypted files. And we're done with that process as well. And we'll go ahead and show you that these files have come back as well. So basically, we've recovered all these files from that undetectable Regna locker. Again, it's undetectable because it's running inside the VM, and your host is not allowed to see files or processes running inside the VM image. And it's able to, even though it's running inside the VM image, it's able to affect files outside the VM image. Thank you. And if you'd like to see more information about NewShield, you can go ahead and visit us at www.newshield.com. Thank you.